All right, good. New Bad Batch this week, episode 7, Battle Scars.
Get your popcorn ready.
An old friend brings some Motrin.
We all know that the biggest dudes, the softest teddy bears.
All right, let's pick up exactly where last week left off. So we were teased with a hooded figure, and speculation ran, amok. I think I landed on Bail Organa as mine, because the person was wearing a robe. You could not see armor.
Yeah,
and I saw an interesting photo that was going around. It was a shot of Ahsoka as Fulcrum in Rebels, and I believe it was from Rebels, and the hologram from the last episode, and they were wearing identical robes, like the pattern. So I was like, oh man, because you remember you had brought up, I was like, there's no way they go Ahsoka again, but like Ahsoka makes sense because it's the Martez sisters. But if you go one more degree of separation from Ahsoka, it's Captain Rex, and
Rex is with Ahsoka at this point. Let's call it duck a duck here.
Yeah, so
Martez sisters, Ahsoka, Rex, they're all doing this together.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people, like I was seeing Mace Windu theory. There's so many crazy theories out there. I think this one was
imagine you'd have celebrated. I knew it.
Yeah, but not in an animated show like that. If Mace is coming back, it's got to be live action. But yeah, so I don't think we were like crazy surprised. It was kind of expected. So what do you think of Rex coming back?
I think that we've all been waiting for it.
Yeah.
I think that I think they brought it in at the perfect time. I think the story fit. I think he made a grand entrance. I thought it was awesome. You?
Yeah. You know what he did for me was I felt like the Bad Batch were kind of aimless. You know what I mean? Like kind of didn't know. Like Rex kind of came in, and it looks like it might just be just the one episode, and then maybe down the road, maybe like that. But we're probably not going to see him for a while. He kind of got them on a path, I feel. Like he came in with, it was, oh yeah, hey, it's awesome to see you at Rex, but then he's like emotionally scarred, right? He's like, you guys got your chips? It's like they got to get out. He even pulls their blaster on him.
Literally pulls his blaster. Yep.
Yeah. So he set the bar, the tension right off the bat for that episode, which I loved. Like it finally, even though like the plot moving forward, they eventually get their chips out, and that's a big thing. But it was just, I felt it was enough to like really, like my interest level peaked just by having Rex there. And he brings that seriousness of like, you won't believe what I've seen go on, right? Yep. Like, Fives died trying to warn everyone. He, flipped on Ahsoka saved him. And now he's, he and then he alluded to, the fight's not over. I don't know what else to do. So him and Ahsoka, and to your point, the Martez sisters are obviously up to things, and it'll be interesting, if they join forces kind of down the road.
And just to skip before we get into the meat of it, the very end looks like it left us a little tease as to what the season finale could look like. Hunter says to him at the very end, if you're ever in a bind, give us a call. I feel like that's our first little smidge as to what that final episode might look like. I think that they get the call, and I think that they join the rebellion.
Yeah, and if we want to do like get into kind of hypothetical teaser spoilers theories here, we have long said that it might end with them trying to redeem Crosshair.
Yep.
And that's a big Star Wars.
Execute them.
Yeah, and that's a big Star Wars theme throughout all the properties, right? Someone who falls and you try to redeem them, or you have to defeat them. And now that they know how to get the chips out, right? They could hypothetically, let's hunt Crosshair now. Let's stun him, get him on our ship, tie him up, and we'll go take his chip out to reunite, our brother, sort of thing.
And he's coming.
Yeah, and he's coming. They're kind of
he's coming.
Coming for each other.
The Scrapper Union just warned the Empire. You better believe Crosshair's on that first ship out, right?
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about like kind of the story here. And I think for me, and I'm assuming for you too, the highlight had to be, I felt like this was really a Wrecker episode, obviously because of the chip, but you got to see, you got to see the moments with the popcorn. What they call it, I wrote down the Mantel mix.
Yeah.
The Chicago mix they were having there. You got to see those cute...
Hugo's literally running around here. That's why I keep looking around.
Yeah, you got to see those kind of cute moments between Wrecker and Omega. And then,
and at the end,
the snap,
I'm sorry.
I know, I couldn't help myself.
God, stop it. Yeah.
Yeah, so we got to see all the, the emotions of that relationship go from friend to father figure to I want to kill you to I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So I thought that was obviously definitely a highlight. And, it's more impactful now because they've been building up the cute Teddy, cute cuddly Wrecker all season, right?
Yeah.
And then so it's interesting when he snaps, Omega's the one he ends up hunting.
Of course.
Yeah. And then just a little more on that. So I know Order 66, like in Revenge of the Sith, it seems like it's an order to kill Jedi. And I might have mentioned this in the premiere. Like, why are they or I think a couple episodes or reviews ago, like if the chip goes on Wrecker, like, is he really just going to start wasting his brothers? Like, they're not Jedi, but it was clear there's a quote from, where is it? He says, all clones in violation of Order 66, will be terminated. Yeah.
And then he looks at Omega as a traitor.
Yeah. Or
treason or something like that. He quotes. Yep.
So they must be able to, I don't know, like that. The original order was probably bigger than originally seen. Obviously, Revenge of the Sith was focusing on the Jedi, or they're able.
That's a good point, actually.
Yeah, or maybe Tarkin's able to update it. You know what I mean? I don't know, but it seems like if you're not loyal to the Empire or what we're doing, you're immediately, it doesn't even matter if you're a Jedi. You're done. You're to be executed.
Yep.
So that for me, that was like not a plot hole, but that was something I was thinking about, which they kind of cleared up a little bit.
They did round it out well.
Yeah. And then, so story-wise, we kind of covered. Just Easter egg-wise, I thought there's a couple interesting things. Rex flying around in a Y-wing, which we don't really get people flying around in a fighter all that much, other than Luke riding around in his X-wing. So now we see Rex riding around in a Y-wing, which I thought was kind of neat.
Yeah.
The planet they're on. Yeah, the planet they're on was Braca, which is from Jedi Fallen Order.
That is what I couldn't place because I've played some of Fallen Order and I'm like, God, this planet sounds so familiar.
No, because Fallen Order, you see it's like raining and they're like, you can see them cutting up things, and this is like daytime. It looks dry, so it's like, is that? But it's a big scrapyard with ships that they're breaking down. I'm like, is that it?
That's the very beginning of it.
Yeah. So sure enough, that's it. And then I guess the other one was the Diogo or whatever you call it, the garbage monster from the Death Star. That tentacle thing, that's what that was.
From the Death Star.
From A New Hope. When Luke gets
brought
under.
Yes. Thank you. I actually missed that one.
Yeah, if you see it, they've drawn it out right in outside of the shows. It's like that little eyeball sits on like a big beefy body with like a bajillion tentacles, right?
Yeah.
So that's what was grabbing Wrecker there. And again, I loved like you knew something was going to happen, like the initial tension, like Hunter's like, don't go into the water.
Yeah. Yeah. And what do we think of Sid at this point? Can we touch on my now not so happy with character in this show? You started out by not liking her hissing. I thought she was going to kind of be, I thought she was going to kind of be a positive character in this.
Yeah.
She's really going down the goddamn drains at this point. She's kind of shit.
Yeah. She's just, she's not doing a whole lot. Well, I guess it fits her character as the whatever, but she's turning into a little more scummy, so to speak.
Yeah. And I think that, as much as I don't like her as a character anymore, I think what it's doing is showing that what we thought we had to look out. Hunter said, my priorities have changed. Yeah. And Rex gives him that smile, like, I can see that. And he's like, I have to do what's best for my squad. So to this point, he thinks it's really about being a bounty hunter. He thinks it's really about retrieving stuff to get credits to feed his crew. Yeah. But there's that moment where Rex looks and he goes, and what is that? And Hunter looks at him and goes, I'm still trying to figure that out. I don't know. As much as I don't like Sid anymore, I think that it's obviously very strategic, because I think that is going to curb their path very soon.
Yeah, and like if they start, diverging a little bit, then does Sid call up, Fennec Shand and be like, okay, split the profits. Here's where they are. Right? Once they lose their usefulness for her.
And that's just it. As soon as they're not useful, she is going to go from ally to foe.
Yep.
How many episodes are in this season?
I don't know. I've heard 14 or 16, something like that. So we're getting close to halfway, because it's a 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because obviously, they're gonna end it with one of those crazy 90-minute bangers, right?
I still can't believe we haven't seen Crosshair since like the 2nd episode.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Or whatever it was. Like that was such a main point. And well, I brought up in the premiere, my concern with it was with Crosshair's marksmanship. If he's hunting them, how many times is he going to miss getting them? Well, easy way to solve that is to not have them in any episodes.
Yeah, and I think that was their only option, because you're either going to degrade the character, or you're going to make him absent. And making him absent was probably the right play.
Yeah, because you can't play up the threat of him that bad and then have him just do like act like a stormtrooper, right? So
yeah.
Okay, so let's score this bad boy. So for me, this was definitely, I loved the tension. I loved Rex. I loved, you're starting to see all that character development pay off with everyone. To me, it's just a hair below the premiere. So I'm going to give it an even 8.0.
I'm going all the way to 8.5.
8.5?
And I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
At the beginning, you always saw that little soft spot with Wrecker.
Yeah.
But what I see now is a full transformation in Omega, not only being part of the crew, but she literally has, five Guardians now. Even Rex, when he first sees them, he's a little wary of the fact they're traveling with a child. And at the end of the episode, you see his humanity. You see the humanity in clones, which doesn't make sense at all, because stormtroopers were people that were commissioned.
Yeah.
Clones should not have that. And
They're
here you have here you have a collection of human clones with a deep attachment to this child, who are really doing their best to make their way in the galaxy and protect this child as well as each other. To me, it was an absolute 8.5 banger. I would put it over the premiere. Just because I loved seeing the convergence of the headaches and the fighting it off and the snap.
It was kind of
and
a
Omega pleading with Wrecker, and then at
Yeah.
the end with him, putting his hand on it. Like, just to me, that episode was full circle. Rex, quotes of laying low. I mean, everything they've teased, and even episodes where we were like, maybe little tidbits of that coming back to be wrapped up. I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah, I had the premiere at 8.1, so I was like, in my head, I'm like, okay, am I going to do the same? Is it better or slightly less? So I was like, it's got to be 8.0 or like 8.2, 8.3. So I went back and forth on that. I went just slightly under.
Yeah.
But
I'm a sap, right? Like, I'm a big mush that way.
Yeah. But still, it's that's my second high score. So this was a great episode. And to your point, like, something I don't know if it gets talked about enough is clones in general, what Star Wars has done with clones, and considering I think it's the same dude who does every single voice too, the amount of personality and different traits and all that stuff they've put on essentially the same character, and to make people feel different ways about all the different types of clones and all that stuff, and so obviously spawns to like the 501st Legion and all the cosplay and everything. It's kind of crazy what they've done with
awesome,
kind of a one-dimensional character when they first rolled out.
And now they're so diverse, and this is only diversifying it even more.
Yeah. All right, buddy. So I think that wraps us up, and we'll do this next week.
Can't wait.
All right. Thanks for joining.
Cheers.
There.